driven by dreams, not by nightmares. It's a mosaic, not a melting pot. This is a country filled with different groups of people, all seeking the improvement of their lives for their family and their posterity. Even the earliest native peoples were wanderers coming from other continents to try to improve their life. This has always been the history of this country. It's always been a young society with the impetuosity and determination to be young, convinced of ultimate success and aflame with ideas of change. The U.S. has always been driven by optimistic believers in the future, a narrative that better times were ahead for them, maybe not for others, but for them. A nervousness and unwillingness to accept, a desire to move. Well, this is the nature of what immigrants are. We have stabilized, we have become less mobile among our core population, but the immigrant population has always brought those same features. The first thing to mention is that immigrants are different from the people who stay behind. When we talk about populations that come from overseas, when they come from Ireland or Italy, in the earlier period from England, from Africa, and from Asia, they're different from the people who stayed home. We found this in terms of the research. Boniva and others have found they're higher in a need for achievement. They're higher in an emphasis on work. They're higher on openness to new ideas and willingness to take risks. On the other hand, they're lower on bonds to family, which means that they're more willing to break away from established patterns within their community. They're lower on contentment. They're discontented. They want more. They want better. And they're also less willing to submit to authority. All of these kinds of things are associated with the willingness to try and work and achieve irrespective of the barriers. All right? If you look at the school systems and compare the children of immigrants to the native-born, what you see is a disproportionate academic success. And it's not because they have innate talents that are better. They have a harder work ethic, a drive for success. It's not based in any kind of genetic tendency. It's based in a commitment that they are provided. Immigrants have tremendous ambition and determination. They take the worst jobs, the fields of construction industry, working in the fields of agriculture, working in the clothing industry, sewing garments, working in slaughterhouses. The jobs that other people won't take, they take. They want an entry point. They're willing to work long hours to support not only their family here, but in many cases, families at home. They send remittances back that are a major component of the economies of other countries. The key is to recognize that while some of them come just for the purposes of sending money home, most of them end up staying. I grew up in an area that had a lot of migrant workers from Mexico that came to operate in the fields. And they stayed, and they formed communities. And what has happened there has happened all over the country. They enter niche areas that they can enter because of their special interests, but don't demand high language skills. We talk about the Chinese laundries. Well, those were efficient systems. You could have a large group of Chinese operating with only a handful that spoke English because they are the only ones who needed to by dealing with customers. They worked in construction. They worked in all of these industries to establish an opportunity to create gas stations. One of the things that I've noticed, lawn care is a major entry point for many individuals from Mexico, but what you're beginning to see are more and more